what's up guys, Carolina here, and I wanted to make a quick video to fill you in on what's happening in my dear beautiful country of Chile. Maybe you've heard on the news or on social media that we are going through some of the biggest protests in our history, and I just wanted to share my view and maybe give you some I guess to sum up what's happening so that you understand. First of all, warning, I really don't like politics. I don't quite understand them. I never have. I just like that. I like it when things are stable. I like it when things are fair for all people. But at the same time, I guess I'm a pacifist at heart, and I don't want to give any like political opinions or anything about this. This is just from the point of view of a digital entrepreneur that lives here, that is from here, that has always lived here. That would be me. And I didn't have the easiest childhood, at least in economical terms. Like, my dad worked really hard to support us. He worked really hard to make sure that we had good education, that we went to really good school, private school, by the way, which is part of the issues right now that have initiated the massive protests in the country. So I don't consider myself somebody that, a person with privilege, at least not growing up. We didn't have it easy. Middle class has never had it very easy in Chile. And people who are lower than that also haven't had it very easy either. But usually when there are any types of benefits, it's to support the people who are most vulnerable. I hate talking about classes, but unfortunately in this country they have separated people in economic groups or something, and that really doesn't exist in other countries, for what I gather. Anyway, I guess you understand what I'm talking about. Usually benefits go to the super rich, when it comes to taxes and stuff, and to the people who are at the lower income areas. They're the ones that get bonuses and stuff like that. So anyway, I've always been in this bracket over here, not super rich, but doing really well, but never in a position where I can get a lot of benefits from the government. And so I guess for that reason I've never been very interested in politics. For me, the reason I started my own business was because I wanted to be free from concern. I never wanted money to be an issue in my life, because I grew up with money being an issue in my life. So when I finally was able to make my own decisions, I was like, I don't want to depend so much on governments or other people to design my life, to design my destiny. But I fully 100% support the protests that are going on here. So let me just sum it up. I don't want to make this video too long. Maybe you heard that the reason the protesting started was because of the subway fare, the rise in the subway fare, but really that was just the last thing. Like, it's an iceberg, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Ever since Chile became a democratic country again, in 1989, so 30 years ago, there have been a lot of mistakes that every president, and not just the president, but all the politicians that we've had through the years, when it comes to addressing these issues. Number one, there are too many things in this country that are private, that are in the hands of private companies. Pension funds are private. Water is private. Health, we have a public health system, but it's crappy, it's not great, it's not good. You have to go to the private one, and the private one is expensive and not even that great. Like, I'm in the private system, and I feel like, what am I paying for? Like, it's not great either. Highways, toll booths, all of these things, everything is private. And Chile being a neoliberal economy, there isn't a lot of regulation when it comes to how much the highways can charge for the toll booths, or the private health system, how much they can charge. So all of that, you know, and the pension funds. Like I said, pension funds are private. There are a lot of people who are in a very vulnerable situation here, getting a very tiny, small pension every month that is just not enough for them to bring food on the table, which is where the hike in the transportation costs comes in, right? The minimum, the income gap, it's huge. Also, politicians here, they make a ton of money. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, some of them make like 100 times minimum wage, 100 times the minimum wage. That's just not right. So all of these things, there's more, but like I said, I'm not a political person. I don't understand fully everything, but this is what, you know, my view, what I understand so far, and what I think you should know. Also, the other thing you should know, we are not all violent. Like, again, I'm not a protester person, which doesn't mean I haven't had my rights, I don't want to say violated, definitely don't want to use that word, but it doesn't mean I haven't had reasons in my life to protest. I totally could, it's just not in my nature. However, I fully support the people that are out there, and most of them are doing it in a very peaceful way. So what you see in the news is the minority. Unfortunately, it's a lot of people, but it's still the minority. People that are rioting and destroying public property and being violent, and looting, you know, stealing. There's a lot of that. Burning. People started burning the metro stations. Some people are now saying that it was planned. Like, I don't know, there are a few conspiracy theories. Some people say that president of Venezuela is behind this. Look, I don't know. All I know is that it's very legitimate what people are complaining about, and the government is not reacting the right way. Like, that's what is making people even angrier. The military are out in the streets. We have a curfew every night. I don't remember what that was like, because in the 80s I was a child, so I know we had curfews during the dictatorship, but I don't remember what it felt like. Right now it really feels like they're violating your rights. Like, you can't go out after a certain time. A lot of people go out anyway as a sign of protest. 19 people have died so far in the protests. Not even one person should have died. You know, some people might say, oh, 19 people, that's nothing. Well, nobody should have died to begin with. So it's been really bad, and some people want the entire government to quit. I don't support that, just because that would really make things probably even worse. We don't have anyone better. Like, I wish there was someone better. I wish I could say, yeah, if the president quits, awesome, we have this other leader. There's nobody. At least that's my opinion. There really is nobody. Left, right, middle, center, up, down. There's nobody. All politicians have been terrible. I'll just use that word. So I don't think the president quitting is the best option. I understand why people wanted to quit. He's been a clown. However, I do think his entire team should quit. Like, all the ministers should be quitting right now. And none of them have, and it's been a week already. I don't know if you can hear that siren. But yeah, there's probably something going on right now. So that's the thing. That's to sum it up. I want you to know, though, the country is still good. We don't have scarcity. Like, the first couple of days of curfew and stuff, people were lining up outside of supermarkets because we feared that, oh my god, it's gonna be like in the 80s again, or the 70s. The 70s, actually, I think it was, where people had to line up to buy chicken or to buy food or bread. But so far that's fine. That's all working fine. I went to the market, the farmers market the other day. Everything is fine. Tourists are still able to do all their touristic activities. It's not what you see in the news where, oh my gosh, the whole country is burning down. Fortunately, it isn't. Most things keep going normally. However, I fear that if the president doesn't really address this, all he's done is apply a few measures and approve a few laws and give a few breadcrumbs, but it's not what people are asking for. Now, I understand that changing 30 years of mistakes overnight cannot be done, but we need a more solid first step. And so far, he just did like a really tiny step towards the solution. And if he doesn't, man up and fire those horrible people that are working for him, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how bad it could get, but I just wanted you guys to know that, to hear it from me, my point of view. This has nothing to do, of course, with my channel, but I live here, and all of this has been really draining for me emotionally. It's been an emotionally draining year. It's been an emotionally draining last 18 months. Like I feel like I've been thrown every challenge, almost every challenge I could be facing. And it's my decision, and this is how I want to close this video with a positive note. The thing that I can control from all of this is totally outside of my control. The thing I can control, the thing you can control when facing challenges that are way outside of your control, is the way you react to them, is your attitude. Are you going to let this challenge help you grow, or are you going to let this challenge bring you down? And as a human being, I've been sad, I have cried witnessing these things that are happening, but at the same time, I know it's going to be for the better. Sometimes you have to tear something down before you can build it back up. And I hope we as a country are going to be able to do that. And so I just wanted to share all that with you. Whatever challenge is going on in your life, you have that decision in your hands. Am I going to let this bring me down, or am I going to let this enhance me, empower me as a person? And right now, my focus is on what I can control. I can't control that people are destroying our public places. I can't control that the military are still out on the streets. But what I can control is what I do, the way I react, the way I deal with it. And the other thing I can control is my business. And that's why I'm so grateful that I have a digital business where, I started this business because I wanted to be more independent. I didn't want the government to affect me. And right now the government is affecting me, right? Because I'm here physically and I'm experiencing a lot of these things, but it does not affect my business. My business keeps going the same way. So by starting your own business, by taking control of your finances, that'll help you control a lot of other aspects in your life. And it'll be easier for you to deal with the stuff you can't control. So just focus on what you can control and just let go of control of everything else. The only thing you can control is yourself. So my friend, thank you for watching this video. No editing for this one. I just wanted to record it and just upload it and share with you, my audience, my followers, my clients. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, taking the time to ask what's happening and how I've been doing. Means a lot to me, and I want to thank you. Tomorrow, in tomorrow's video and tomorrow's email, if you got this in an email, I'll be inviting you to a very special training. Back to business. Yes, back to business. I want to help as many people as possible run a business on the internet in 2020, and that starts now. So look out for my next video, look out for my next email, because it will contain a very special invitation for you. Thank you so much once again. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Leave me a comment below. Tell me what you think about all of this. And hopefully our politicians finally understand what people truly want, because sometimes they just don't get it. And that's what's happening here. Thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.